these are the sorts of people that don't make it as bank traders, right? They get fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get fired when they make the mistake twice. They're done. Hey, it's Walter here, and you're at the Think Profit podcast, where we're going to help you develop a rock-solid trading confidence and avoid the potentially endless cycle of system switching. Right, Hugh?
That's right. We're going to help you develop a wealth mindset, develop a trading strategy that fits your core personality, and help you overcome the obstacles that stop over 90% of traders.
All right, Hugh, sounds good. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's do this.
So, Hugh, we have a question from a trader, good friend in Ireland, but he's from South Africa. Really cool guy. And he has this issue of he will backtest his strategy, get his numbers, get everything set up, everything's right, everything looks good. But then what happens is during the week, he'll start taking trades that are not part of his strategy. So he'll see signals from other traders or another system that looks really good that he hasn't tested or whatever, and he'll take the trade. And so the question is, well, what do I do to get around this?
Yeah.
How do I, this is an issue. It's really impulsive trading, right? Is what it is. So I have some thoughts on that. Do you want me to?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Okay. All right. So there are a couple of things you can do. So this impulsivity, if you take a personality test, you would probably see that you're high on impulsiveness. So you need a good personality test, like the Ocean, which is the big 5. If you just Google, I'll put a link for guys in the show notes so you guys can take it. But if you're high on impulsiveness, then that would be the kind of thing that would come up. And this is tricky because these are the sorts of people that don't make it as bank traders, right? They get fired. Yeah, they get fired when they make the mistake twice. They're done. So what I said to him, I said, you need a trading accountability partner. You need someone to talk to every week. On the weekend or whenever, and just go over your trades and let them go through everything and see why you took this and all that. Also, I like to use you only have a certain number of arrows to shoot. So this is really good for, actually scalpers use this quite well. This rule where they say actually I was talking to a trader this week. He has a 5-minute scalping system, and he only gets 2. What he's basically trying to make is, if he can make 1.5% a day, then that's his goal, and he only gets 2 arrows a day. And that's kind of what I recommended to my friend. I said, look, just give yourself a certain number of arrows, whether it's 2 arrows, 3 arrows, whatever is a day. And after you shoot those 3 arrows, you have to come back the next day. And your trading accountability partner on the weekend will say, okay, let's say, how many did you do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? Which system was this? Is it a system you actually tested, or was it some, Yahoo on the internet saying that the euro is going to go up or whatever? You know what I mean? That sort of thing. Yeah. So that was a pretty, and then also I suggested I can put a link in for people interested in the show notes. For people who are interested in the subliminals, there are subliminals for impulsiveness. There's hypnosis tracks for that sort of thing. So if you're accountable to somebody, if you use the arrow technique, if you're working on your subconscious, those are the 3 things that I would recommend to do if this is the kind of situation you find yourself in. Yeah.
Hey there, I hope you're finding this episode useful. I just wanted to let you know that Walter and I give away something valuable every month that helps traders improve their skills. You can enter to win by simply leaving an iTunes review and leaving a comment on our YouTube videos. At the end of each month, we'll look at the comments and reviews from the month, and we'll pick a winner at random. Each comment and each review counts for 1 entry during the month that it's submitted. So if you're interested in that, be sure to enter after this podcast is over. All right, back to the episode. Okay, cool. Yeah, I personally have a slightly different opinion on that one. I think the arrow technique is good. I only allow myself 2 entries per trading idea. So that really limits the losses also. But I think also maybe one thing to consider is if you are maybe you feel too restricted by a system. If you should be more of a discretionary trader who just reads price action, as opposed to somebody who has a set system and only trades that system. That kind of goes against some logic and some things that I also teach, but I think there is that personality type that is more of the discretionary trader and wants to have more variety, and the system might be restricting them. And I think that that's something that can be back tested, something that can be practiced every day, but it's less about having a set system. So I think that's maybe something to consider also if you find yourself straying away from the system that you're supposed to be trading. I've read a lot about ADD personalities and how sometimes these types of people have to do a project, put it down, do the next project, and then come back to the other project. And it's just the variety. They need that variety. So that could be one of the things to explore if you find yourself not being able to follow a system.
Yes, I definitely agree. And another thing you might look at that occurred to me while you were explaining, I think, some people will say, hey, Walter, why don't you just, like you said, just read price action? Why don't you just
Mm,
trade price action? And my question for you is, have you tested it? And so what I would
yeah.
say is, what if you take all of your strategies that are tried and true and back testing all that, and you're trading those on your live account, and then at the same time in parallel, you have a demo account. What you're doing is you're taking all of these, like sort of reading the market or
Yeah.
gut
Yeah.
feel sort of
Yeah.
thing, and see and
Yeah.
have a race,
Mm,
have a race, who wins every quarter, every 6 months, every 9 months, whatever it is, and see like where do you fall out in terms of the demo account versus the live account, and see if
mm,
it's actually better. Because I feel like we do run into hindsight bias with this sort of thing. We kind of
yeah.
trick ourselves into saying, oh no, this system's amazing, but you kind of, it's easy to skip over, you know what I mean, when it doesn't work. So yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I definitely agree. I think that's definitely another way to do it. And if you have that data though, and you can go, well, look, I've got this demo account and I've actually been just fully trading discretionary price action reads on this one, and it's actually pretty good, then that might give you a reason to consider moving a small account into that, to that method or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Walter.
Cool. Thanks.
All information in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and is not trading or investment advice.